Hi, everybody. So, I'm recording this just a few weeks after the US political election, and I just wanted to share a way of thinking about where politics fits into our life, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say about this. Um, okay, so because so many of us look at social media and the news, um, politics is takes up a very large space in our consciousness, in our awareness. And yes, of course, the laws and policies of government affect us all on a daily basis, but it doesn't affect us as much as other things. And this is where I invite you to see how you can situate your uh, energy given to politics appropriately. So um, think about this. What other aspects of your life, when you make decisions and take actions in those areas of your life, make a bigger immediate difference to your life and probably a bigger long term difference too? What might those be? You can pause this recording and comment below if you like. A couple of them that came to mind for me. One is my business, my career, right? Like if there's a decision that I can vote for certain government policies or politicians, versus today what I decide to do in my business is going to have a palpable difference, next week or next month and certainly next year. And I take there's many actions I can do every day and every week that affect my business, which greatly affects my life, my finances, my relationships, my mental well-being, my sense of my skillfulness in various aspects of work and life, right? Like my business is a much bigger influence. And then another aspect of my life that's has more influence than politics and policies and politicians is my relationships, particularly my family or close relationships. In my case, it would be, I live with my wife, so my relationship with my wife, what we say to each other and do and be together every day, how we be together every day has much bigger impact on our mental well-being and our ability to do our careers. And it has an effect on our health. It has an effect on how we sleep and how we make decisions on every other aspect. So the relationship, their closest relationships, have far more import than what happens with politics and even your activism or voting, right? Your closest relationships, they affect you a lot more. And then another aspect that affects me a lot more is my choices and behaviors as regards to my personal growth or my spiritual practices. And in spiritual practices, I actually, maybe I could set this aside as another factor, which is health. Okay, I'll put that as well. Let me just talk about spirituality first. So, how I stay consistent or not with my spiritual practice, how sincerely I do my spiritual practice, how I am expanding my understanding or deepening my understanding of my spirituality, that affects me many times a day. I mean, like a moment to moment, because spiritual practice can be brought into any moment of any day and thereby affect our mental well-being, our emotional well-being. And so that is far more important than politics, right? And then, as I just mentioned, our health habits, our choices, when we go to bed, and this is a problem when when I am so enamored with following politics and what's going on in this politician's decisions or whatever, and what's going on with current news. I can be so enamored that it affects my sleep, both in terms of if I go to bed on time and also affects my thoughts in the middle of the night. So paying attention to our health habits like sleep, of course, what we're putting in our bodies, and whether we're exercising or not, these are far more influential to our mental and emotional well-being than how we look at politics, what we do about politics, etc. Obviously, political government policies makes a difference, for example, in terms of our food systems and in terms of other medical health effects in our life and our finances when it comes to medical insurance or whatever. Yes, of course. But still, despite all that, your ability to make choices day to day about what you eat, when you sleep, how you sleep, whether you exercise, whether you get together with friends to enhance your social well-being, all that actually makes a far bigger difference than whether or not, what happens to the medical insurance policies, for example. Obviously that does make a difference, but not as much as your own individual choices on a day-to-day basis. And so generally, I look forward to hearing what you think about this below. If I could put some kind of a importance ladder to all this, I might say bodily health, number one importance. If you don't keep up your bodily health and your habits, and then you can't even work on spirituality. I'm gonna put politics last, and you'll see why. So bodily health comes first. Spiritual practices come next, very close second, but you need to prioritize it properly. It's bodily health, spiritual health or practices, and then closest relationships, come after that. And then career comes after that. Your business, what you do on a day-to-day basis for your work comes after. And then, Mac is reacting to all my conversation here. Finally, politics. And so putting that, it's like I'm not going to let politics get in the way of my closest relationships, for example, my closest friendships and relationships. I'm not going to let it get negatively affect my career, my business. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to let it affect my sleep, hopefully, my spiritual practice, etc. So anyway, I hope this is interesting in some way. I look forward to seeing if you have any thoughts about this below.